After spending over 100 days at sea and talking to countless veteran cruisers and former crew members, I've discovered that almost every ruined cruise comes down to cabin mistakes. Mistakes that nobody warns you about until it's too late. And here's what's crazy. These aren't random one-off problems. The same 16 mistakes destroy thousands of cruises every single year. Former crew members see them happen over and over, shake their heads, and wonder why nobody ever learns. Well, today, you're gonna learn. Because once you hear what happened to these passengers, you'll never make these mistakes yourself. Let me start with the mistake that generates more complaints than any other. It's so bad that experienced cruisers have a name for it. They call it the connecting door nightmare. Mistake number 1, the connecting door disaster. A newbie passenger booked what he thought was a perfect balcony room on the Allure of the Seas. Great location, good price, but he didn't notice one tiny detail on the deck plan. His cabin had a connecting door to the room next door. Now, you might think, so what? It's locked, right? Here's what cruise lines don't tell you. Those connecting doors aren't like regular cabin walls. They have gaps at the top and bottom. Sound travels through them like they're made of tissue paper. This poor passenger ended up next to a family with 3 kids. He described it this way: constant crying and screaming at all hours of the night. Can't sleep. This is beyond annoying. The walls are paper thin. One veteran cruiser put it perfectly: never book a room with a connecting door unless you're also booking the other room too. The worst part? Most people don't even realize they've booked a connecting cabin until they're standing in it, staring at that door. And it's too late to change. Mistake number 2, the guarantee cabin gamble. This next mistake has ruined so many cruises that experienced travelers call it Russian roulette. Guarantee cabins, or GTY cabins, offer lower prices. You pick a category, like balcony or interior, and the cruise line assigns your specific room later. Sounds like a good deal, right? One travel writer tried this 16 times. 16! Here's what finally made her stop. She ended up in a cabin so bad, she didn't sleep for 4 straight nights. 4 nights of absolute misery on what should have been a relaxing vacation. Professor Melissa, who's been on over 40 cruises, explains what happens. You save maybe $200, but you might end up directly under the pool deck, where chairs start dragging at 6 in the morning. Or at the very front of the ship, where you feel every wave. Or above the nightclub, where the party goes until 2 a.m. One celebrity cruiser got their guarantee cabin assignment, room 2140, bottom floor, interior, directly below the grand foyer. They actually posted online asking if it was the worst cabin on the entire ship. The answer? Pretty much yes. Mistake number 3, the Lido deck ceiling wake-up call. Speaking of being under the pool deck, this might be the most universally hated cabin location on any ship. Here's what happens. Every morning at 6 a.m. sharp, the crew starts setting up the pool area. They drag heavy lounge chairs across the deck, dozens and dozens of chairs, and if your cabin is directly below, one passenger described it as sounding like thunder rolling through your ceiling for an hour every single morning. A former guest services crew member revealed the truth about these cabins. She's seen passengers emerge wild-eyed after sleepless nights, begging to switch rooms, only to learn the ship is fully booked. They're stuck there for the entire cruise. Professor Melissa had this experience once. Never again, she says. Of all rooms to avoid, this is the top contender for rooms I will never stay in again. Even mid-ship locations aren't safe if they're under the pool. One couple thought they'd picked the perfect spot on MSC Virtuosa. Midship, deck 14. Should be quiet, right? Wrong. The chair scraping started at 6 a.m. and went on for over an hour. Mistake number 4, forward cabins, where seasickness lives. You know what's worse than being seasick? Being seasick in a cabin you specifically picked and paid extra for. A veteran cruiser with over 60 cruises under her belt said it perfectly. Forward is the worst. The only time I ever remember feeling seasick was when I was forward and high up. Higher is worse too. Here's the science nobody explains when you're booking. The ship is like a giant seesaw. The middle barely moves, but the ends, they go up and down with every single wave. One Disney cruiser learned this the hard way. Room 6508, fourth cabin from the front of the ship. Even taking Bonine for seasickness, she got really sick the first 2 days at sea. She felt every bit of motion. But here's where it gets even worse. A Royal Caribbean passenger booked a forward cabin on Freedom of the Seas, right near the anchor. Not only did they get seasick from the motion, but every time the ship docked, the anchor dropping felt like a major earthquake. It woke them up every single morning in port. A former crew member who cleaned these areas confirmed what passengers fear. Cabins in the forward section experience the most motion during rough seas. I've cleaned vomit from those corridors more times than I care to remember.
Mistake number 5, the entertainment venue surprise. Imagine paying for a relaxing cruise and ending up living above a nightclub. It happens more than you'd think. Professor Melissa learned this lesson on Holland America. She thought she was safe because Holland America caters to an older crowd. Everything's shut down by midnight. But then she adds, but on party ships like Carnival, good luck. One couple got what they thought was a fantastic free upgrade. Turned out their new cabin was directly under the theater stage. During the day, they couldn't nap because of band practice, dancers rehearsing, bingo games. At night, shows until 11 p.m. The points guy, who's been on over 170 ships, calls one area the Bermuda Triangle of bad cabins. It's on Carnival ships, around the aft elevator bank on the cabin deck that sits above the main entertainment deck. The noise is absolutely constant. Even piano bars cause problems. One Royal Caribbean passenger on Deck 7 starboard ended up above the schooner bar. The piano player performed until midnight every night, serenading them through the floor. Mistake number 6, the obstructed balcony betrayal. This one really stings because you pay premium prices for these cabins. Professor Melissa booked a balcony for her Alaska cruise. 70% of her gorgeous Alaskan view was blocked by a massive orange lifeboat. 70%. She paid extra to look at a lifeboat. But her Carnival Mardi Gras experience was even worse. The cabin wasn't marked as obstructed, but it absolutely was. The deck below was fully blocked, and the decks above were recessed, meaning passengers had a bird's-eye view into her supposedly private balcony. She wanted to have morning coffee in her robe, take those dreamy ocean photos. Instead, she had zero privacy. It was like being in a fishbowl. Modern ships have these tiered balcony designs that look gorgeous in marketing photos. Those sweeping curves of balconies, they create a neighborhood watch situation where everyone can see into everyone else's outdoor space. And those interior-facing balconies on Royal Caribbean, the ones overlooking the boardwalk or Central Park, people walking by can see directly into your cabin. Not exactly the private retreat you imagined. Mistake number 8, the power strip disaster. Most cruise cabins have 2 to 4 outlets. That's it, for all your devices. And here's where people really mess up. Royal Caribbean banned all power strips in 2024. All of them, even the ones without surge protection. Other cruise lines confiscate any power strip with surge protection the moment they see it in security screening. Why? Fire is the greatest danger at sea. These devices can malfunction, and cruise ships have zero tolerance for fire risks. One experienced cruiser, Gary Bembridge, who's been on over 100 cruises, warns about something else. When you leave your cabin with devices charging, cabin stewards are instructed to unplug everything. It's a safety protocol most passengers never know about until they come back to dead phones. The solution? USB charging stations without surge protection, outlet adapters, not strips, portable power banks. But most people don't know this until their power strip gets confiscated on day 1. Mistake number 8, the bathroom blunder nobody talks about. Cruise bathrooms average 25 to 30 square feet. That's tiny, but the real problems aren't about size. First, the toilet situation. These aren't normal toilets. They use vacuum suction systems that clog incredibly easily. Put anything other than the provided toilet paper down there and you'll flood your cabin. Gary Bembridge shares a horror story. I've been on cruises where we've had a nightmare because the toilet system has been blocked. The entire bathroom flooded because someone used the wrong toilet paper. Then there's the shower curtain that seems possessed. It flails open constantly, flooding your bathroom floor every time they needed to use the toilet in the middle of a night. The water never drained properly. And that toilet flush? It sounds like a jet engine. If you use the bathroom at night, you will wake up your cabin mate, guaranteed. Mistake number 9, the temperature control myth. Here's something cruise lines definitely don't advertise. Many cabin thermostats are basically decorative. One passenger in a balcony cabin complained that the air conditioning almost seemed non-existent. Turns out, this is common in balcony rooms. The system can't handle the door being opened and closed. Gary Bembridge reveals why. Opening your balcony door causes havoc with the air conditioning. It creates a massive wind tunnel effect. Everything in your cabin gets blown around, and the temperature control completely fails. AFT cabins, which are located at the back of a ship, are the worst for temperature. Carnival Dream had so many complaints about hot AFT cabins that it became a running joke on cruise forums. The air conditioning simply couldn't keep up. People constantly ask, can you control your own heat and AC, or does everyone get the same? The answer depends on your ship, your cabin location, and sometimes just pure luck. Mistake number 10, not researching your exact cabin number. This might be the simplest mistake to avoid, yet almost nobody does this research. Veterans say you must search for your specific room number online before booking. YouTube room tours, cruise forums, reviews. Real passengers will tell you what the cruise line won't. Here's a perfect example. Carnival Liberty 1006. A reviewer wrote, "Avoid cabin 1006 at all costs. It's right below the fitness center. We initially thought there was a cow or elephant stuck in our ceiling doing jumping jacks. Turns out it was just people running on the treadmill at 6 a.m. When they complained, guest services said it was a known issue. There was nothing they could do, and anyway, not everybody complained." Known issue. Think about that. They know certain cabins are terrible, but they still sell them.
Mistake number 11, the hidden gratuity shock. Mainstream cruise lines charge $16 to $25 per person per day in automatic gratuities. For a family of 4 on a 7-day cruise, that's nearly $700, not included in your cruise price. But here's where people really mess up. They see an automatic gratuity on their bar bill and add another tip, not realizing they're double tipping. Or worse, they remove the automatic gratuities thinking they'll tip in person, then forget to bring enough cash. A former crew member revealed the truth. Those automatic gratuities don't all go directly to crew. They go into a pool that gets distributed by percentage. Your room steward, working 16-hour days cleaning 25 rooms, might take home less than $600 a month after deductions. One passenger actually demanded to remove all gratuities and wanted compensation because the cabin steward dared to touch their sunglasses to place them on a towel animal. This is the kind of behavior that makes crew members question humanity. Mistake number 12, the overpacking disaster. Cruise cabin closets are tiny, yet people bring 2 weeks of clothes for a 7-day cruise. One Reddit user packed 12 outfits and 4 swimsuits with cover-ups for an 8-day cruise. She could have packed less than half of that, she admitted later. The golden rule from veteran cruisers? Bring half the clothes you think you need, but extra underwear and an extra swimsuit. One woman brought a curling iron and full hairstyling kit. Her review? "My hair was never done. It's so windy and humid. I'll never bring them again." Meanwhile, critical items get confiscated at security. Power strips, steamers, irons, candles, things people assume they can bring but can't. The solution? Heavy-duty magnetic hooks. One cruiser called them an absolute game changer. Those cabin walls are metal. Magnetic hooks give you instant storage everywhere. Mistake number 14, not asking your cabin steward. Your cabin steward can get you things you didn't know existed on the ship, but supplies are limited, and if you don't ask on day 1, you won't get them. Mattress toppers, fans, extra hangers, tea kettles, different pillows, even extension cords for medical devices. All available if you ask early enough. One passenger discovered his steward knew about laundry promotions. "Wait until day 3, the steward said. Every 3 days there's a discount. Saved him $40. Your steward also knows which ports are safe to explore alone and which aren't. They know the ship's hidden features. They know everything. A former crew member revealed just how much. Within days of embarkation, your cabin steward could write your biography. They know what time you wake up, what medications you take, whether your marriage is happy, and exactly how much you're drinking. Mistake number 14, annoying your cabin steward. Certain behaviors immediately put you on your steward's bad list, and trust me, you don't want to be on that list. Leaving room service trays in the hallway creates tripping hazards. Keeping Do Not Disturb signs up too long triggers security welfare checks. Folding wet towels neatly confuses them about what's clean and what's dirty. Moving furniture is a big one. Everything has to go back exactly where it was before the next guests arrive. Your steward has to fix it all. Draping wet clothes on lamps or heaters can trigger fire safety systems. One couple got kicked off their cruise for being too loud during intimate moments. Security doesn't mess around. Missing the muster drill isn't just annoying, it's illegal. Maritime law requires 100% participation. Miss it, and you might not sail. Mistake number 15, inside cabin regret on scenic routes. Booking an inside cabin for Alaska or Norway is like going to the Grand Canyon and staying in the parking lot. One cruiser put it perfectly. They dreamed of sitting on a balcony feeling connected to the ocean. Instead, they got cramped quarters and didn't know if it was rainy or sunny outside. Waking up in complete darkness is disorienting. Missing glacier calving in Alaska because you're in an interior cabin is heartbreaking. Watching the Norwegian fjords on a TV screen instead of from your balcony is just sad. Yes, inside cabins save money. One couple cruises 4 times a year by choosing inside cabins. If they booked balconies, it would only be once or twice. But for scenic cruises, that savings comes with serious regret. Mistake number 16, not packing essentials in carry-on. Your checked luggage might not arrive to your cabin until 8 or 9 p.m. on embarkation day. If you didn't pack essentials in your carry-on, you're stuck. No swimsuit for the pool, no medications, no change of clothes if you spill something at lunch. A former crew member sees this constantly. It actually happens more often than you'd think, she says. One passenger triggered the fire alarm blow-drying her hair because she didn't know the smoke detector was right above the vanity. Security told her it happens all the time, but it's still embarrassing and disruptive. Here's what this all comes down to. Every veteran cruiser will tell you the same thing. 1 hour of research prevents 7 days of regret. Avoid cabins under the pool deck. Everyone agrees on this. Choose midship and lower decks for less motion. Research your exact cabin number on YouTube and forums. Bring magnetic hooks. Check what's above and below your cabin on deck plans. Stay away from forward cabins if you're prone to seasickness. Don't bring surge protectors. Prepay your gratuities. Pack half the clothes. Never accept an upgrade without knowing exactly where you're going. These aren't suggestions. These are rules written in the tears of thousands of disappointed cruisers. We hope you learned something new from this video. Please leave a like and comment below. And don't forget to subscribe the channel for latest updates on cruise ships every week.